Hello, everybody. My name is Chachi. That is Tom. Welcome back to In Our Home Opinion. It's been a little while. I was waiting for the off season to get moving a little bit, because there wasn't much to talk about. But also, drafts was so long, so far away now. We're like really got to
Still
start
ain't
talking
nothing
about.
to talk about.
There is, because we had the little workouts and everything. We just give our opinions on this kind of stuff. So Tom, what did you want to start with? Did you want to start with the news? Let's start with the NIL stuff. We'll do that. I forget the guy. His last name is hard to pronounce. I don't want to mess it up. I'm Olivia or whatever. The guy for Tennessee, Nico, the quarterback, has opened a can of worms in this situation by leaving because he wants more money, and it's really backfiring because he's made less, and now he's going to UCLA, I believe.
I wonder who his financial advisor was. What a dumbass.
Here's my problem with this situation too, dude. I like that the players are getting paid. I really do. I just, in his situation, two things. I'm gonna be dead honest with you, and I watched the college football playoff. I didn't know who he was. I just knew the Tennessee quarterback played terrible in that game, and he was not very good. Not saying he can't be. He's a freshman. Got it. But he did not. He definitely didn't look that good. He got good enough to be
No.
asking for more money. He's not the reason that team made that college football playoff. I could,
Dude, yeah. I mean,
and the precedent
yeah.
doesn't make sense. This isn't the same as basketball, where
Well,
basketball,
oh,
Cooper Flag is going to be the first pick. Okay, and the two guys for Rutgers are really good too, and the DJ DeBonsa, he's really good too. Those guys are going to make AJ DeBonsa. I'm sorry, they're going to make it. Okay, it's basketball. This isn't football's different. You got to get used to getting hit, and that's the pros. So you got to show that you can play. They're not going to draft you high just because, oh, look how tall he is. Especially a quarterback if you're that bad. Because look, even Anthony Richardson right now is making them be like, well, we can't do that because my God, and you're not that kind of athlete anyway. So
no. I mean, I think this comes down to he saw someone like Carson Beck who really isn't that good. You see, how good Brock
No.
Bowers and McConkey were, and you're just like, oh, he can go down to Miami and get all this money. Why can't I? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And he played the wrong card.
Yeah, but he's also.
I agree with Nick Saban. Proud of Josh Heupel from my hometown, Aberdeen, South Dakota. Boom, watched him play high school football. I was a young lad. I didn't know much about football then, but still cool. I'm just proud that he actually stood up and said, "No, you either want to play for Tennessee or you don't. I'm not playing these games. Get out of here. You're dismissed." And I'm glad it back. What I'm sad is that someone actually took him.
Yeah.
I wish he would have had to sit out, because that sets the precedence now of, these teams actually don't. You have to, unfortunately, you have to set a consequence to all this, and there is none right now, right? And
well, look at Ugalele, who played for Florida State. How terrible he played last year. He's been on 3 different teams, and he's just not the guy. Really, isn't.
Football is so hard because it's not especially a quarterback. It's not transferable when you think of it's hard. Oregon State, you're playing Pac-12 schools, and it's just it's a different set of talent. The ACC's a lot harder, but also he might not even be any good in that offense. It's just kind of crazy, And what I just don't like what's going on is exactly what Nick Saban said. I don't care. Sometimes things in life you do need to move. You think of the Jalen Hurts situation, right?
I agree.
The guy was a starter. He needed to start somewhere. I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Dude, you pick a school. I picked my alma mater. I never had any intention of transferring. And I played. I got opportunities to start, and I had a blast. And it's no longer.
Oh, Tom dropped his call. Oh no! But I understand what Tom's saying. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes. So that's more of a situation where it's needed. You're a talented player, you want to play, and sometimes it doesn't work. So, but to just move there for money's crazy. I agree with Tom there. Tom's back though. We're good.
All right, guys. Good Zoom. Yeah, I just have a lot of problems with this generation of athletes. They want to just quit, which is hard. To be blunt. And you could argue the point of in the working world, yeah, you can jump from job to job to job, but it doesn't look good.
No.
And eventually employers, it gets harder and harder to get employment because people are like, hey, this person invested in me. As you want to move up the ladder, they want people that are invested, man. And I'm telling you,
No, but this is
good luck. We're teaching as adults. Again, college kids, while they are adults, they're still children, right? They're very young adults. They should not be allowed
true.
to basically make decisions that pro athletes do. Sorry.
Well,
they should be. What they should be allowed is, hey, if you're performing a service for the school, at a minimum, you should have your education paid for.
Not only that,
not be making $5 million, $10 million.
Well, not only that, this is losing its value too. This NIL thing, because it's supposed to be for the players that are playing really well and making a lot of money for the school, right? That is the thing. You get paid because you're really good, right? Like Reggie Bush back in the day, or I guess you would pick like the U when they had like Ed Reed. Imagine how much they had to pay those guys, dude. Oh my God, that team was crazy.
Well,
that whole defense would have been making.
To your point, all it takes is a bunch of rich alum and trust fund families. What they do is they end up you're gonna know who the national title winner is going into it. Like, how is that even competitive?
Yeah, but to your point, I will say this. This is the problem with this. You don't have teams like that. Like, do you remember all the players that were on that Canes team? They were so competitive, and that's what made them so good. They were such a team. Like, they policed themselves because their pride for, like you said, sticking it out. It's hard. You got to be that good to be in front of the next guy. That was the way that's what made them great. You got to have that in you too, because that's why that won't happen, Tom. Because like you just said, these guys will lose the job and then they'll leave because they'll be like, "Oh, I'm not starting here. I'll go somewhere else." Instead of like, "Hey, let's compete. I got to get better."
Oh, and that's like one of the things. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm missing the, the NFL in the NFL.
Yeah.
Guys leave so quick anymore, because, hey, I mean, and I get it, the NFL, you're trying to make as much money as you can.
True.
You only have a short window. But, like, remember when, back in the 60s and the 70s, guys played for teams for a long time. And like, that's how you build, like, that grittiness, and, like, that's honestly where the rivalry comes in.
No, that's the team aspect is lost. And
now it's just like, everyone's like, yeah, whatever, I just go somewhere. I don't really, I don't like this team anymore. I'm tired of, and there's so many more journeymen anymore in the NFL.
It is,
and it's become very NBA free agency-esque, and it sucks because I just think it's like, yeah, man, I don't know. You don't see rosters stay around as long anymore.
No, I agree with you. It's a lot that I do understand from the standpoint. I get it. Like, a coach can just leave and. That's fine. No one gives any crap to that. So it's like, oh, the players should get paid. Understand that.
You know what they don't, Josh, do they really, at big time schools, maybe, because, hey, they're getting a really good opportunity. But most of these coaches just don't go, oh, I'm leaving by.
No. I agree. I agree with. I agree with.
Right?
No.
Nick Saban left the NFL because that was a shit. The Miami Dolphins were a shit show. He went to Alabama, but he's at LSU. I mean. And he stayed there for, like, forever. Same with Kirby Smart. He's been there for a long time now. Like, I don't know, man. That argument's bullshit. And also, these are adults.
No. I get what you're saying, but I'm also trying to... I understand what they're doing. I just don't... We've gone too far, is what it is. That's what it is. That is 100% what it is.
Well, and Nick Saban... Well, exactly. Because the NCAA decided to sit on their hands instead of being proactive. They knew this was coming.
People shouldn't be getting... My thing is...
And they sat there on their hands and just said, well, we're just going to let it continue to be what it is, and now look what you've got.
My thing is they should... I don't have a problem with you getting money, but you have to do something before we... Like you shouldn't just be coming into college getting money, because how do we know you're going to be good? It's a whole different ballgame. In high school, everybody's the best player on their team by a lot, or in their state. Hell, Derrick Henry ran for like 5,000 yards in college. It was crazy. Have you ever seen his stats? It's insane.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
But you know why Derrick Henry's good? Because he proved it on every level and then got better. He didn't ask for... You can't be giving high school players money. Everybody's going to make money coming in, and then you don't know who's good. Because you know how many 5-star recruits get to a school and then just flame out because you know what? Now they actually gotta play good players. You're not. This isn't Mississippi no more, young
It
fella.
honestly isn't even the competition shot. All of a sudden, it's like there's other motivating factors in
Yep.
college.
Yeah.
Breaking news: there's girls and drinking.
Not only that, you got no. But Tom, that's the thing. When you go out there and you do that, you stay out late and everything, and you're on like a really good team. There's a dude out working you, and then you go there the next day, and guess what?
That was
That sophomore.
every day. That was our mentality, man. In the off season, man.
Tom used to tell me when
we had a bad day, you know what, our strength trainer, he's like, guys, he's like, you gotta assume everybody had a better day than you every day. He's like, you can't come out here and have that, like, bad of energy and things like that. It is true.
Tom, I remember you telling me the first year you got there, you were like, "Damn, this is different," because you were like, "These dudes are strong," and you
I got my ass handed to me for a year. I had to learn.
It's hard, but see, you took it as a learning experience. You took it as a learning experience,
and a lot of it, honestly, was just, dude. I came from a program, a not very good football program, and I had to.
Yep.
I had the toughness piece. What I didn't have is the strength and the technique. Right, so you have to spend, dude. I spent all off season in the weight room.
Mm-hmm.
My squat went up from like 315 to like 475. Like, that's what I did. I went in the weight room. I studied film, and I got with older guys, and I just continued.
There you go,
to
man.
work
That's how you do
technique,
it.
Because that's what like, if you love football enough, that's what you got to do. And yeah, when you start giving kids money, I'm sorry, man. I think, man, if I was given, like, dude, if they gave me an NIL deal Josh in college and I had $30,000, I would have spent it on dumb shit. I would have been such a douchebag. It would have just made the situation worse. I can only imagine.
Well, no, I agree.
Like,
I agree, man.
There's something to be said.
It's hard at that
about
age,
how
man.
we have it in society, where you have to learn how to work for things and understand how hard things are.
No, I agree.
Instead of just, I am handed everything on a silver platter. And that is where we're going in society with this stuff. And it's like, it's really annoying. It's just kind of across the board. It's just like, hey, I'm owed something. You ain't owed anything, dude. You haven't proved anything yet.
Yeah,
You're in a semi-pro league where 1% of those semi-pros go to the NFL, and probably even a smaller fraction of a percent of that actually do something with their career there, besides be a bench warmer. Like, think about that, man.
It's
and
true.
Now we're just like, we're going to give, and I understand you want to maximize your worth, but that ain't what it's always about. You're supposed to go get an education, right? Anyways, I'm glad people stood up for it. I'm glad he got killed with, like, hey, now you got less because you were an idiot. And the NCAA just needs to wake up. Like, if this is not the wake-up call, I don't know if it ever will be.
No, I agree. Any thoughts on the draft coming up? We'll go to that now. I agree with Tom. This NIL
Do you
stuff.
want to do that Lacey thing?
We'll do the Lacey
Whatever.
thing. Kyron Lacey, what happened with him, then we'll go right to the draft. But like Tom said, this has just been that whole situation, they've missed the boat on it. At the beginning, I liked what they were going to do. But like Tom's saying, you're just giving people money for nothing, not proving anything. And then like Tom said, you become complacent. And like he said, I don't blame these kids. Some of these dudes are making, like him, he's making millions of dollars before proving anything. It's like, what is the motivation? And by all accounts, he's a good kid. So I don't want to throw crap all over him. Apparently, he's a very good kid. I feel like people are in his ear. I really do, because when you're making money like that, that helps your family, right? So you probably got people in his family. Hey, man, we need this money. You got to go get it. Ask for more. Leave. You're worth more than that. Tom, you remember being that age. Could you imagine a bunch of people in your family? You're better than him. You can get more money. Like you said, Carson Beck. Because it's true. Carson Beck, I remember before the year, he's going to be a high draft pick. I'm like, guys, I saw one game with him. I was like, hell no. I would take Stenson Bennett over him. Get him the hell out of here.
You don't get to that level. You don't get to college football by not being competitive.
Yes.
And it doesn't take much for someone to get in your ear, be like, heck yeah, man, I deserve more. And
so I don't want it to sound like I ain't rooting.
Don't get me wrong. I agree with you. Nico's a good kid. I'm not.
I don't want it to sound like I'm pooping on him.
System,
like
I'm mad at the fact that our society has gone to this level of entitlement for everything. And like, hey, you're owed something because you did something once.
Yes, and I want to make it clear, like, I still, like, regardless of what happened, I'm rooting for the kid to do well because he is still just a sophomore, and hopefully he figures everything out because you have moments where you make mistakes. Maybe he goes to UCLA here, starts working hard, grinding, and maybe this is a thing we talk about when he's up for the draft in 2 years and he's like a first round pick and he's like, I made a mistake, you know. Spencer Rattler, you saw it last year. He really grew up over the course of time. Everyone can.
Yeah.
So I'm
I will
hoping
say this though. Cam Newton brought up a really good point.
But I know I saw it.
This is really, really dumb.
Yep.
And he's like, this sticks with you the rest of your career. You were the guy
it does.
that did this. It's a hard stigma to get rid of.
I saw. That's true. You don't want to be the face of anything like that, man.
No.
Now, way worse situations.
And it was just a bad gamble. Whoever gave him that advice, I hope that he's just like, I am never listening to you again.
It's true. So man, the Kylan.
That was
so
bad advice, bro.
So it's hard to always shift to stuff like this. The Kylan Lacey situation. Guy, everyone's seen him play. He was a really talented player. Definitely, probably first round picking, if not early second. Really good player. Had a lot of upside. I knew what happened, and honestly, it looked up in the air. Like, I'm gonna be honest from you, from a court case standpoint, I don't think he was gonna like go to jail like Henry Ruggs, because it wasn't like as egregious apparently, or as cut dry. But I mean, I guess the guilt of someone dying in that situation is tough, you know. And honestly, people around him, I'm conflicted, right? It's like, you did something wrong, so spare me the crap. But it's also, you know what? I get it. He's young. It's hard, man. And people in his corner need to, you know, sometimes you got to talk to your family a little more than you think. People will tell you they're okay, especially dudes. They're going to be like, I'm okay. Nah, bro. So, actually, anybody, female, male, kids, you got to talk to your family members sometimes, because sometimes they'll just act like they're fine and they really aren't, you know. Just, it's a sad situation. You never want a young person to lose their life. Even when they do something wrong, you know, you can always learn from situations. And you know how many times we've all been there. You've been in situations where you're doing something that could end terribly because of what you're doing. It doesn't end up doing that, but you definitely put yourself in a bad spot. I mean, that's happened to all of us at least once. I know that.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I don't want to throw shade at the guy because, oh, look, it didn't happen to me, so I can talk shit about it. It's just like, it's sad that, you know, took his own life. A lot of talent there.
Yeah.
And not only that, forget the football.
Give me some context, though. I heard the headline. I just don't know. So was he going like really fast, and he ended up getting in an accident with somebody, and then like what was? Give our viewers and me context.
So here, let's just go there right now, and we'll get the full Kyren Lacey. Let's read what happened, huh? Okay, the alleged fatal. Here we go. New York Post. So I mean, I guess it's okay. New York Post is kind of.
All media is kind of
whatever. Yeah. We're just gonna read it.
If you read 7 of the same thing, then maybe it's real. Go ahead.
I'm just trying. Months after he was arrested, his alleged involvement in a crash that killed a 78-year-old man in December. Grand jury scheduled. So it was a felony. So he took part in blah blah blah. He was charged with negligent homicide, felony hit and run with death and reckless operation of a vehicle.
Nice.
Okay. So there.
So he. Nice. So he did hit and run. I mean,
negligent homicide. So yeah. So
I get it. When you're young, you are a star, and you go, uh-oh. I mean, I'll tell you this. I think one of the best advice I've ever gotten from Coach, and nothing good happens after midnight. Just letting everybody know.
True.
You probably should just go to bed.
Yeah, it's hard.
For real, like I remember even when I was like starting and playing, I didn't stay out late anymore. Yeah, honestly, I was too beat up, but also just, it's true. Nothing good happens the later as the night things get. Man, this is kind of getting back to my NIL thing, dude. I don't know if he had a fast car or not. I'm just reading between the lines. Dude, if this guy had a fast car,
I think he did have a really nice car, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, here you go again. Young people with really expensive things making dumb choices.
Yeah, he had a Dodge Charger, 2023.
Nice. There
Pretty
you go.
fast. That's not like
Hey,
a Lamborghini.
man, he must have been a top recruit for Georgia.
He even played at LSU, so I mean.
But well, no, I'm just saying he must.
So
have
it
been a
says the
top
driver
recruit
of
for
the
Georgia.
Dodge, later identified as 24-year-old Kyron Lacey of Thibodaux, Louisiana, recklessly passed multiple vehicles at high rate of speed by crossing the center line and entering the northbound lane while in a designated no passing zone. The Louisiana State Police Department release said in January. Okay. As Lacey was illegally passing the other vehicles, thank you, New York Times, or what is that? New York Post. I'm sorry. Please don't get mad. Please don't take this down. I'm reading your paper. See, newspapers still matter. The driver of a northbound pickup truck
I was
abruptly.
just hoping you pulled it out of the sleeve.
The driver of a northbound. I was there, Tom. The driver of a northbound pickup. Oh God. Native, leave me alone. We don't want your stuff. Even though it's not bad. The driver of the northbound pickup truck abruptly braked and swerved to the right to avoid a head-on collision with the approaching Dodge traveling behind. The pickup was a 2017 Kia Cadenza, whose driver swerved left to avoid the oncoming Dodge Charger. As the Kia Cadenza took evasive action to avoid impact with the Dodge, it crossed the center line and collided with the truck. I believe that's what it's going to say. Head-on with the southbound 2017 Kia Sorento. Geez. So what it sounds like is he didn't technically hit the people, but he caused the accident that led to the death. So
Because, and again, this is where I get frustrated here in Atlanta. People do this all the time. They think they can swerve and weave, and they're more entitled than other people are. You end up, you end up with this type of.
what it sounds like to me is exactly. I read that earlier. I just wanted to read that for context for everybody. I wanted to get everything on the table, so like people aren't like, oh, well, you didn't say it. I read that from 3 different articles, like it's like a week ago, just to figure out what was going on before we talked about it. I just wanted to put it on the screen so everyone can see what it says. So I'm not giving you crap. This is all I know. Okay.
This is what I'm frustrated about, Josh.
Good.
This system. This gets back to the NIL. Kids having too much money, being able to think that they can, and again, they're entitled. This isn't, hey, I'm entitled and I'm more important than the other people on the road, right? And you're setting these kids up for failure every time.
I agree.
Again, think our minds aren't truly mature as
25.
males, probably till like our 30s.
Yeah.
And these are 18-year-old kids. They're kids, man.
No,
I
I
remember when I was
agree.
18, I did a lot of dumb things. And you're telling me that this... I'm sorry, man. The system has totally...
Yeah.
Because, again, it's become greed because you got agents now that are licking their chops like, hey, I got more people paying me. And it's all greed, brother.
No, I'm
it all
with you.
comes down to greed. And guess what? The collateral are all these kids.
No, and you know what's sad now? You never have people around you anymore, too, that are like if you had a real friend there, like he would have been like, bro, you can't be doing this, bro. It's dangerous. You got a lot going for you. You need to chill, bro. Like, chill.
Yeah, kids. These guys don't need.
The way if you're in his seat, like if you're his, say you were riding with him, right? His friend was with him. You ain't gonna tell me he wouldn't be like, bro, relax.
Yep.
I ain't trying to die today. Let's slow up.
Exactly, dude. Look, man.
And the same way that friend went, same way that friend.
I feel bad that the kid feels that he needed to take his life.
Yes, I was about to say that.
Owning up to it, but I'll tell you, man. Like you made those choices.
I agree.
Do.
Well,
he made those choices, but I think the system led to him making choices and feeling entitled and all that stuff.
Well, also you need someone to like sit there and tell you, like, hey, like you just said, look, everyone makes mistakes. You got to own up to it. Do the time that you have to do. And you know what? He's young. It's like, tell him, look, football is going. They know you're talented. You actually play well on the field. You'll be okay. But you have honestly, honest moment with them, bro. You play a position where you can definitely play after you come back. It's not like you're playing running back or quarterback. It's wide receiver. If you're fast and can catch still, they'll find a way to get you in the league. Okay. I'm just saying. Like, I don't know when Henry Ruggs gets out, but if he can still run a 4.2, trust me, he will get a shot.
I think Henry Ruggs might be in jail for his life. So
yes, I know, but I'm just pointing that out. I'm just saying, if you have talent,
I mean, he might be able. Maybe he can join Gridiron Gang.
Hey, you can say what you want about him. Hey, we can say
Sandler's
what
making a remake.
we can say whatever we want about him. The one thing I'll give him credit for, he took credit. He like took the blame for what he did. Okay, I've heard nothing from him. I haven't heard, well, it was this and that. I'm like, okay, hey. I mean, was it still terrible? Yeah, but at least Henry Ruggs was like, hey, I messed up. You know.
We still have Rasheed Rice and
Yeah, he's just
running
playing.
around
Yeah, I'm
and
like,
playing.
he got to play all year. Roger Goodell, I get on him a lot on this show, and I still will. You screwed up the Ray Rice situation. You did. I don't like him as a commissioner because he just anything to protect the shield, bro. I'm like, you're a little annoying sometimes, but it's fine. It's whatever. He just wants his money. He's all about money. Selling me footballs,
Yeah.
defective
Well,
footballs. Like
that's why he keeps getting elected. It's not just money. He protects the owners.
he does. He does.
The
He's
owner's
annoying.
interest has always been money, so that's why he's still there.
Yeah, if you got any backbone, you fix the Cowboys, you get Jerry Jones out of there, which it is impossible. But I'm just saying, I mean, good God, that team is a mess.
And
Anyway,
the Cowboys deserve it. Screw them. I hate that team. So it's
they
all
do.
good.
My dad. I will
actually
always.
don't mind.
My dad.
I'm just glad Mike McCarthy had a spine and said, "I'm good."
I love you, Jimmy. I love you, Jimmy. But my father. But my God, when the Colts left, apparently he went to the Cowboys because they were loaded. I was like, man, you picked the team with all the good players. It's sad what they've become because the '90s Cowboys were just so good. That was such a good team. I can't even hate on them. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
all because of greed. You know, Jimmy Johnson could have stayed there and y'all could have won. And I know they're like, oh, Jimmy gave him crap too. Yeah, but Jerry, what kind of owner is contentious with a good coach? I don't get it. Like, go sit in the box and win. You know how, Tom, you know how famous he would have been when, not if, I think when they won 4 in a row. Because if Jimmy was the coach, they probably would have won 4 in a row. If they won 4 in a row, they would have been like, man, them Cowboys teams. Dude, you would have been a legend. No one would have ever bitched about you. You could have never won another championship. They would have been like, yeah, but he got 4 in a row, and that team was crazy. And look what you did. You became the dude that kicked out like their best coach that fixed the team. It's crazy, bro. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Anyway, let's go to the draft. Enough sad stuff. So what do you?
I'm happy to go to the draft. Hey, well, summary of the past 2 conversations. NIL is a really bad idea, and there needs to be grown-ups that make grown-up decisions about how to use this in a positive way.
Yes.
Yes, it's almost like politics. Grown-ups doing their jobs and making real decisions.
Let's not get into
What a
that.
concept.
That's another
Okay.
mess.
Let's go to the draft.
That's another mess. Are they going to put a tariff on watching football? Because then I'm screwed. That's a lot of money.
I mean, technically, yes. If you buy that service, if you buy NFL Plus from the U.S., Europe ain't watching. They're gonna have to raise the price of it.
Oh God, no. Anyway, whatever. I love football.
Technically, yes, Josh. It's all on the table.
Oh fuck. All right. Anyway, excuse my language. Bleep that out, editor. Anyway.
It's a very ambiguous time, boys. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so what are your? Okay, well, let's get into this because he said it, and I think it's complete crap to make more money, and I love it. I have no problem with that. Travis Hunter, hey, make your money. But he's talking about if I'm not playing both ways, I'm retiring or whatever. I'm like, come on, bro. I'm like, this is the NFL, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope he does it, and it's like, wow. Like Cam Newton said this. I'm not going to hate on him till I see it. Like I'm like that. I'm like, hey, I'm paraphrasing what Cam said. He didn't say that. I don't want to put words in his mouth. But I'm saying like, maybe he can, and because people have done stuff that no one's ever done, and you weren't ready for. Maybe he will be able to do that. But from my perspective, what I'm seeing is, so Cam was explaining like I was trying to explain it to people at work at the time. I was at work when I was explaining this. When I heard about it. I was like, dude, so you're going to go pick a team. So you're going to cover the number 1 receiver because presumably you're going to a team that's not very good, right? You're going to cover someone's best receiver. And then after doing that, you're going to have to go run routes on offense and block. You're going to give me like probably okay play on both sides, which is not, when the time comes for money, what am I going to be like? So you're gassed and injured a lot and you want money, like I got to pay you like a top receiver and corner. Yeah, I'll get one of each of those guys and pay them less. Like, I mean, that's what's going to happen, dude. You got to pick. And besides that, all actuality, I think he's a good receiver. Very good. He could even be very good. But he is not like corner. He is one of them. Like I love him at corner. Receiver, he's pretty good.
Right Right now, Chachi's not a good receiver, in my opinion. Go watch him run routes in that stupid whatever underwear thing they did the other day. Dude, he can't run routes. He's just a good athlete. When you go take a shit on Colorado State, sure, he's an elite corner.
Yes, no, 100%.
He's a young kid that's been around Dion, so he just runs his mouth. That's all he's doing. Dude, go play corner. Go be happy being the third pick in the draft, and prove yourself, man. Because he could be really elite in terms
I think so too. Yes, dude. I told you, Patriots. If somehow he falls to the Patriots, dude, Gonzalez follows the main guy, mans up on him. You just let Travis get a bunch of picks on the other side, jumping routes and stuff. Oh my God, that defense would be crazy.
And if you want to do a couple gimmicks with him on offense,
that's it.
Sure, but I would not.
That's it.
Please don't. Please, dude. Whatever, Travis Hunter, and Travis Hunter, go retire. Let me know how that goes for you, because I'm pretty sure you probably didn't get a degree from Colorado anyway. So, good luck.
Where do you fall in the? Okay, that done. But me and you both agree. Like Travis, we think you're probably the best player in this whole draft. Like as far as talent, like your ceiling is crazy. If you play corner, you're gonna be. Not only that. Like Tom said, I think you should be using like reverses and some plays like in games. I'll put them back at punt returner when you need a big punt return. Throw a deep ball to them every once in a while. Cool with that. You just can't do it on every play, dude. Maybe you can, but I doubt it. Highly doubt it. All right, I'm just saying. I hope I'm wrong. But I don't think I will be. I'm just gonna say it. Just gonna say it. And who am I? I know who am I exactly. That's cool. I'm done. Anyway, love him though. Love him. Best player in the draft, I think, for like. As far as like the ceiling, if he plays corner, my God, he could be that good. I think the Patriots, though, Tom, would be that would be crazy. I think they could flip their team so fast, because they're just going to be like, because Agent Zero, they don't talk about him enough, because you get no catches on that man. I always go by how good a corner is by how the completions are on him. All I know about Gonzalez is even when they catch it, his hands like an inch away from the ball, and this receiver's got to like snap it, and then they're getting tackled, and it's like, oh, that was all for 5 fucking yards. Way to go, woo! I think it was the Jets, and they threw like a touchdown to Garrett Wilson, and he had to like jump sideways and make like a one-handed catch while this dude's like holding on to him, and he just missed the ball. I'm like, if that's how you get catches on this guy, I'm like, he's pretty good, because ain't nobody getting open on him. I'm like, just like, dude's wearing like a coat on these motherfuckers. Like, where am I? I'm right here. I'm on you, son. And he follows them, which I'm like, damn. I'm like, all right.
Well, let's get back to the draft.
What do you think about the QBs?
I'm not, dude. In general,
and overall,
I'm just not hyped. So I'm hyped that this draft is in Green Bay. As a Packer fan, it's going to be cool.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I'm not going, but it's going to be fun. I will say this though.
Yeah.
I'm not hyped because honestly, like, I don't think there's going to be a lot of trade. This offseason's been weird because I don't think the talent's great.
No, I agree.
And teams are just like, in terms of free agency or even in the draft, it's a good running back draft.
Love it for that.
Good defensive line draft.
Yep.
Also, there's depth in the offensive line, not as good as last year, and then tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, it's kind of a meh. And look, you'll find players and stuff, right? But my point is, like, there's not a ton of talent. I don't think you're going to see a ton of trades. I think you're going to see a lot of people kind of stand pat.
Yep.
And those drafts are boring.
No, I agree.
And honestly, I think you're going to see the first 10 picks kind of play out the way we think. I think the only thing I'm kind of fascinated in is
Charles Davis is not drafted on your screen.
Are the Giants desperate enough to take Shedeur Sanders, or do they say we just need to keep building the roster and take the best player available? If I'm them, take the best player available. I would stay away from Shedeur Sanders if I were any franchise. Be honest with you, put him as like a second, third round pick, make him sit, make him earn it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's never earned it. He's good, and the thing is, he's okay. He's just a name. And the real question is that what you want? That distraction and all that nonsense. I don't know, man. He needs to learn what it's like to play in the NFL quarterback, but to lead. And I'm telling you right now, he does not have the leadership characteristics. You see it. The only reason he was able to lead in college is because he was that good. This is the pros, buddy. Everybody's that good.
I think.
And
Okay, finish what you're saying. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Nah, I mean, everybody gets the point. The answer is, dude, if a team's desperate enough to take him high, I think you're going to see a bust on your hands. If a team's willing to let him sit and develop, he has a chance.
I think
to be something in the NFL. Probably average, but he could be something.
I think Cam and Shedeur, they're good, but my thing is they don't do anything. They don't have one characteristic that is amazing about them. Like, they don't have a big arm. They can't run super fast. They're pretty good at everything. They're okay. They're pretty good. Okay, so they could be good. I do like Cam Ward's leadership. I'll give him that. He's a good leader. But you gotta make plays too. The thing with
but here's my question: how do you feel about putting on your team in a bowl game?
True, but
to get a record. I get why he did it. I think it was smart. I don't know if I agree as a leader. Like, hey, I'm gonna go instead of winning this game for my teammates. I'm gonna go.
I don't take. I personally.
I got my due.
I personally don't take that personal, because I've seen it too many times. You tear your knee up. Nobody goes, hey man, thanks for doing that for our team. Here's money, or here's a job for winning that ball game and wrecking your knee and never playing again. You know, I'm like,
yeah, but they got insurance.
I'm okay.
I got what you're saying though. I trust me. I think it was a smart move, but I think it's also like kind of shitty. It's like, here, I'm gonna play for a little bit to get a record, which you could have gotten 2 plays and then been like, I'm good.
I would play, but also if we're out of the playoff though, I'm like, I'd be like, whatever. I'm like, it's just a ball game. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that, because now they incentivize the, like, oh, you played in bowl game crap, the college football playoff. Because before, like, it was really cool when they had like the New Year's bowls and all the other stuff. To like bowl week, remember bowl week was awesome. Now I'm like,
yeah,
like, dude, I really never.
I think they had good matchups. Yeah, now basically they've given this incentive for garbage teams to get in the first few games, and they're also making. I think what's really fascinating about this draft, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Are the teams that played longer in the college football playoff, do they have more NFL-ready players?
True.
Because they know what a grind is like.
I think the Shedeur situation, no, I agree with you. The Shedeur situation, I think if he goes to the right place, like you said, and learns, I think these guys could be good. The thing you can't quantify with quarterbacks is who's going to work. Because we've had people with immense talent not put in the work, and they're just terrible. If you put in... These guys, I think, have to work, though. That's what I'm saying. But if they do put in work, they could be good.
I'm not questioning Sanders' work ethic. I think he knows it because his dad. What I question with him is how leading men. You're not leading a bunch of college bros. You're bros. You are leading men that have families that make more than you.
Oh,
and also that is a hard ask.
Oh, Tom.
And I'm telling you, if you do the shit that you just did at Colorado State, you're in trouble, brother.
Tom, I get
you ain't gonna, and you need to sit. That's where I do think the Giants actually make sense if they don't force him out there right away.
Okay.
And they let Jameis and Russell kind of guide him of like, dude, this is how you lead a locker room. This is how you do this. Then they have a shot. Tom, but if they don't do that, man, I'm telling you,
Jameis,
he's gonna get eaten alive.
Jameis. Maybe Russell Wilson. Jameis. I'm like, Jameis Winston. Jesus.
Oh, I know.
Well, anyway.
I mean, look, Jameis can somehow lead a locker room. Like, I know he's weird, but dude, he inspires team players to play, man.
He inspires losing. No offense to Jameis Winston, he inspires losing teams to win. Go ask the Saints how that speech went. I'm just saying, when they were good, they were like, "Whoa, what the hell is this guy?"
They scored a garbage time touchdown.
Yeah, like no. I like Jameis, but the narrative with him being like this like, oh, what a great. No, he's been a bust. He really has. He's just pretty good. He's a backup.
He's not even pretty good, dude. He's trash.
Yeah.
He was never. He had Mike Evans.
Anyways,
but Sanders is fascinating.
I love the personality of Jameis. I don't want to hate on him there. I love that guy with that, like the upbeat, fun thing about him. I just the thing where we're acting like all these people I see online. Oh, if he started his whole career, they would be bad. No.
No, he was a bust. Mariota was a bust. That draft class
stop.
sucked. What's fascinating too is everyone forgets the draft class before that when it was EJ Manuel and Glennon.
Oh my god!
Just,
Oh my god! Well,
dude, it was bad.
Christian
Dude,
Ponder. Does anyone remember Christian Ponder?
But honestly, Josh, that's what this draft class reminds me of.
Yeah.
I think Ward and Sanders are better than Manuel and Glennon.
Yeah.
But I actually think that's kind of where they're going.
Well.
It's like Ward had this flash in the pan moment, right? And I think he is very talented, but that's a little harder ask. And dude, you got to be consistent in the NFL. You can't just go to the U. You might be playing with a shit. I mean, dude, if you're going to Tennessee, you're playing with shit.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just reality.
Tom, what do you mean? They have the one guy that they got for A.J. Brown, whose name I forgot because he's caught like 4 passes.
Burks,
yeah,
Burks.
What a legend.
All right, they got Ridley. You're okay.
Yeah. He is pretty good.
Yeah, no, he is. But you get my point, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, like I said, I think this draft is more fascinating and.
Tom knows I'm a running back guy. I'm going to bring that up in a minute. I love Genty. I really think he's going to be really good. He fits the way the NFL's played now. And here's the thing. Everybody gave him crap, which I don't understand for his last game. You know he was playing Penn State with Boise, okay? Like, did you see some of them runs? They would be hitting him with like 5 people, and he'd still get like 7-8 yards. I'm like, the guy's good because he's a little bowling ball. You can't. It's very big for his size.
Yeah. Dude, I think like everyone has him going to the Bears. Honestly, I think the Bears need to go get offensive linemen.
On this one, they have the Raiders.
Be physical. Because you got to build depth, man. There's just too many injuries anymore in the NFL. But whoever gets in, dude, this running back draft class, Josh.
Hampton, love Hampton too. Oh my God, I'm like, I hope the Ravens. If you ain't go, because Malachi Sparks, they're saying they're gonna draft him. I'm like, the Ravens with safeties never works out. I'm like, guys, not only that, you're bringing back, Darius Washington's coming back. Why? I've seen him play in the NFL. Okay, I know he can play. I know it was 1 year, but I know he can play. I don't want Matt Elam again. I'm okay. And don't give me Ed Reed. Ed Reed and Kyle Hamilton were like, you're dumb if you don't pick them picks. Like, that's different. That's like, anyone, if we didn't take them at that spot, the next team was going to take them. 100%. Okay. Like, that doesn't count. I was like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? You're not getting credit for that. Malachi Sparks. Yeah. I'm like, I seen him. Maybe he's good. I'm like, eh.
Yeah. But anyways, I mean, honestly, I think when the draft happens, I'll have more takes.
Because you got to know where they go and the
I'll
fit.
tell you, I really hope Green Bay trades up and does something aggressive and wild. Or, like, they're able to trade Jair Alexander and package, like, a couple lower-round picks or, do some... I'm hoping there's more player movement in terms of veterans for draft picks. Because I think at this point that's the value in the NFL is some of these vets. I don't know if there's a ton of value in the draft in terms of besides those positions groups I discussed, I would love if Green Bay figured out how to get Trey Hendrickson, right? Or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. I want to see if the Ravens trade Mark Andrews. They're talking about doing that. I'm like, I don't know. It would save a lot of cap. I mean...
Well, or even if, everyone was saying how cool would it be if, the Packers traded for Myles Garrett and then he comes out on the stage in Green Bay. Dude, your Reggie White, kind of esque moment of, bringing in someone similar to. That'd be wild, man. That'd be fun.
That's a lot of money, though. I'm like, damn. I don't know about
no, Josh, they ain't doing that.
Damn.
I'm just joking. I'm saying that if they, or, you saw it came out now, Jalen Ramsey wants a trade. All of a sudden, I think there's a lot of players that are, teams are willing to say, hey, whoever wants to bid. So I'll be fascinated because, one of the things in Green Bay they haven't addressed yet, and I'm actually really concerned going into the season. Mm-hmm. Christian Watson ain't going to be available till end of the year, right?
Yeah.
Well, right now, you don't any big physical receivers.
Mm-hmm.
That, are you going to go draft a McMillan? You're going to have to go up and get him.
Yeah. True.
Which
True.
I honestly don't know if that's a guy I want to, in this draft class, if that's who I want.
Yeah, he don't get very good
this
separation.
Draft class is very mid.
Yeah, he don't get very good separation. I'm like,
No. Yeah, they're kind of like, well, he has Mike Evans skills. I'm like, sir, Mike Evans is probably better than that, but okay.
Well, that's kind of a slight at Mike Evans. Like, this dude just came in the league. Like, really? How you know he's gonna play like that? These are grown. Like Tom said before, these are grown men. We'll see what you got. A little different.
Yeah, it's just that's anyways. I think I'm just like I'm not super hyped with this draft because I don't foresee it. I don't know. I don't foresee a lot of.
I'm not hyped. I'm just the resurgence of the running back. I love it, and these guys are getting their due now, and I'm like, yes, my boys are back. We're back. We're running the ball, baby. Get downhill, baby. And the thing with the quarterbacks, Tom, my perspective is always, I do always question their work ethic, because you could show me it in college, but there's a lot of guys that do that just to get the money. And I'm not saying that's these two or any of the guys in the draft. I always question quarterbacks, because you know what it is too? Now, like, you made the point. This is my point with them. It's really hard playing quarterback in the NFL because now you got to lead people while simultaneously knowing everything that's going on a play. I can't have you slacking off because they look at you crazy like, bro, you're my meal ticket too. You are the team. If you're bad, we're not winning nothing. Especially now, you ain't winning nothing with them.
It's not even if you're bad. It's like if you can't manage the offense.
Yes, we need you to be the guy. You're our guy.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think in the NFL, people need to understand. Like, dude, Jalen Hurts has won a Super Bowl. And at times, he just managed the offense this year.
Yep.
And that's honestly like Trent Dilfer. He did. Like, don't get me wrong. Do you need these Peyton Manning type players? Yes. But right now, that's not what quarterbacks coming out really are anymore.
Well, you have to dictate like to your team too, like just by presence. Like you said, Jalen Hurts. Hey man, we're okay. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna win this game. He has like that calm and presence. Like, okay, we're okay. He's not worried. Why would I be worried? You just see it on his face. Like, we got this. Never against the Chiefs. Even when they lost the one Super Bowl to him, you never saw him. Even when he made that fumble, no panic. Just like, hey, we got it. We're gonna play. You need a leader.
Yep.
Is he the most talented QB? No, but he did the stuff like we're talking about right now. I don't think these guys are the most talented. I think they have great talent, like Tom said. Obviously, they're going to be high picks, but like you have to be that. You have to learn that to be a leader and to lead, like you said, lead men. You have to lead men. These are guys that are they have families, bro. They ain't dealing with your crap. Like, what are you doing? They will check you if you're like sitting there just doing whatever you want. Like, no, bro.
That's all I'm saying with some of these guys is just, hey, yeah.
And rest assured, you call out your linemen in the NFL, they're going to say something. Like, they're not going to be like, oh, okay, Colorado.
There's going to be a few olays, and when you start getting nailed time and time again, dude, it's a different game, right? You got to motivate. Like I said, you have to be the hardest. You're right, but in general, all these players, man, you got to be the hardest worker.
Sure,
that's how you get people that are elite. So, but that's all I got, man.
Same here. I can't wait to see the draft. Tom's going on a cruise next week, so I think we're gonna probably take off next week and then come back the week after. So just have a little fun. Here's the rest of the draft, the mock draft by Charles Davis, because I like Charles Davis. Let's give him his love. Let's see. Malachi Sparks. Who the Ravens taking in his draft? Shamar Stewart. Oh, yeah, the one guy. Yeah. The edge. All right, cool. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Tune in 2 weeks. Likes are always appreciated. Comment, subscribe, and as always, Tom.
Multi anchor down.
Anchor down.